have stolen my, you have stolen my, you have stolen my business secrets, and I'm not really happy about that because it ain't cool. Hello, I am Lisa Robbin Young, and this is Creative Freedom, your dose of education and inspiration to help you build a noble empire and live an inspired life without selling your soul. One of the questions I hear a lot from creative entrepreneurs has to do with someone stealing an idea. Lisa, they say, I'd really like to launch this idea that's been burning in my brain, but I'm afraid to share it because, well, what if someone steals it? There are two approaches I take with this kind of question. The first and most common is to remind you that as a creative, your job is to create, to get your ideas out into the world, and don't be so paranoid about people stealing your brilliance. For most people, this advice works because it stems the real fear, the fear of doing something that doesn't pan out. In truth, if you're moving along at the early stages of your career, chances are good that hardly anyone is watching you right now anyway. They're certainly not studying your every move to leap on your ideas and get them to market before you do. And if you're a little further along in your business and people are watching you, you're probably creating faster than they can keep up. On the other hand, there's an entirely different tier of business owners who are innovating, inventing, and standing on the bleeding edge of creation, and their systems, processes, recipes, and designs are the equivalent of trade secrets. In these cases, it really is about protecting your creative gifts from theft, particularly if you're relying on the support of a team to build your noble empire. There have been plenty of cases where a disgruntled employee exits with the family recipes and starts their own competing restaurant just a few doors down. And not too long ago, the company that made the original miniature models for the Star Wars franchise sued former employees for stealing trade secrets and starting a rival company that effectively shut down their business. There are a slew of legal protections, like non-disclosure and non-compete agreements, that you can and should employ to protect your company's proprietary information. But today, I want to talk about an effective and inexpensive way to protect yourself that doesn't involve any legalese. I call it the Krispy Kreme Strategy. When my oldest was about 10, we'd stop into the local Krispy Kreme to watch the bakers make the donuts. It was a fun adventure for him, and it often ended with a hot glazed donut, something my kids could never resist. One day, we arrived in time to watch the batter being made. The baker pulled out a sack marked donut mix and dumped it into the mixture. Then he poured in a liquid mixture and turned on the mixing stand. I was sort of surprised at how few steps there were. That's it? I asked. You don't have to measure and mix the ingredients? Nope, he said. It all comes pre-mixed right off the truck. We don't know the recipe. We just follow the last steps to create the finished product. Very, very fascinating stuff there, those Krispy Kreme people have going on. I was fascinated by how little information these bakers actually needed to create the tasty treats. By segregating the information, no one person could replicate the closely guarded secret recipe, which was locked away in a vault in North Carolina. It's so secret that when one of the bakeries in New York ran out of ingredients, they tried to make their own, and the home office got angrified and sued them. Later, I learned that many companies practice a similar technique. Legend has it that Coca-Cola locked up half their secret recipe in one bank vault and the other half in another vault so that no one person had the entire recipe in their possession. When I ran my own candle company, I mixed my own fragrances, and I used a code that rendered the cards useless to anyone that didn't have the key. And if you watched Mission Impossible, you know that the government keeps a list of spies and their aliases segregated on two separate lists to keep the identities of their secret agents secret. Same idea. But you don't have to have super secret special ingredients or cutting edge technology to employ this strategy in your business. Here's how it works. Essentially, you break it down into component parts and distribute those components to different parts of your organization so that no one person has access to everything. Except you, of course. A colleague had mentioned to me about a new system she was developing to run her business that was working really well, and she later wanted to use it with her clients, but she didn't want someone stealing that idea and then using it. So instead of assigning all of the tasks in the system to a single VA, she broke out the tasks and distributed them to several different team members. And that way, each team member was handling an important part of the system, and they knew that part really well, but no single team member was responsible for the entire thing. This kept my colleague from giving away the system to a single VA, a contract VA, who could then use that same knowledge with their other clients and effectively destroy my colleague's competitive advantage. This works for other proprietary information too, like vendor lists and client project details, the very information that Star Wars model makers allegedly swiped before leaving the company to launch their own gig. Had the owner kept that information segregated, it's possible that those disgruntled employees might have ended up with worthless gibberish instead of millions of dollars worth of new client business. Well, new to their new company anyway. If you're building a creative business around something special, something proprietary or secret, you want to do what you can to keep your competitive advantage intact. Part of what makes your business unique is you, and that's something that will never change. But the knowledge, the systems, and the processes that you develop can magnify your unique edge in the marketplace. That uniqueness, the unique combination of what you know and how you deliver your great work to your right people and who those people are the key components of what make your business valuable. Protecting that uniqueness is paramount to longevity. Tiffany has their blue box. It's their mark of distinction. Your unique advantage is yours. And when you've done your part to protect your business secrets, well, Dashboard Confessional knows what I'm talking about. While nothing can protect you from everything, doing your part to protect your assets of all kinds goes a long way toward your business health. So, now let me hear from you. Have you had an experience where someone stole your work? How did you handle it? Share your thoughts and your ideas in the comments, and let's be a rising tide for everyone. If you liked this episode and want to be the first to get more just like it, then subscribe and share me around with your friends, because we're the pause that refreshes. And there's always more where this came from. For inspiring songs, stories, and resources to help you build a noble empire and live an inspired life without selling your soul, come see what's shaking over at LisaRobbinYoung.com. You know you want to.